Hey guys, and welcome to another new episode of The Gig Nerd. Thank you so much to everyone that's watched and subscribed recently. I honestly really appreciate it, and it genuinely really means a lot. But you guys don't want to hear me talk about that. What you do want to hear is that it is Glastonbury Festival Ticket Week. And there's obviously been a lot of talk and discussion about this new ticket sale process, so I'm not even going to talk about it. We've covered it in a previous video. Go check out that video. But today, let's just talk about the headliner rumours. If you haven't seen part one, go check out that because this is part two. But let's jump straight into it. Who is my first Glastonbury prediction for this week's episode? So, firstly, we're going to start with the undisputed legend, Mr. Stevie Wonder. There was tons of unverified rumours last year that the original headliner for 2024 was Madonna. Madonna then apparently dropped out last minute and was replaced by Stevie Wonder. Stevie then allegedly got ill and had to be replaced by SZA at the last minute. Stevie has headlined before, but not for quite a while, way over a decade. And he's far too iconic to be playing the famous Sunday legendary spot. So for me, Stevie Wonder is headliner or nothing. And boy, it would be such a genius performance. And what a Sunday that would be to take us into a fallow year. Playing Superstitious and all the hits, man, I really want this one to happen. And it would almost definitely be his last Glastonbury performance. So this would be absolutely iconic. In my opinion, there needs to be an older legendary act that outright headlines. In 2024, we basically didn't have that. There's an argument to be made that Coldplay played the legendary spot, but I truly believe there shouldn't be three modern pop artists playing, or three modern artists in general, to be honest. There should always be a wide mix at Glastonbury. And of course, there's 45,000 stages, and there is such a huge mix at Glastonbury, but I am a believer that the three headliners should all be distinctly different. So considering I do think Glastonbury 2025 is going to be very modern and poppy, I think Stevie Wonder would be the absolute perfect headliner. And I adore Stevie, but I don't adore him quite as much as my next prediction. This fits into all the exact same categories as we just spoke about with Mr. Wonder. That's the legend, that's the boss, one of my favourite artists of all time, Mr. Bruce Springsteen. Now, Bruce is playing Germany on the Friday, which is good and bad news for fans of the boss. It means that he's in Europe, and Germany is just a short flight to the UK. And Germany's a lot closer to Glastonbury than what New Jersey is. And Bruce has headlined before, he seems to have a great relationship with the festival, but the last time he actually played outright was 2009, just like Stevie, way too long ago. And again, I say this super respectfully, but the boss, he is getting older, so this would probably also be his last Glastonbury performance. And I know it would be amazing. I'm not sure the boss has ever put on a bad live show. For me, personally, I love Stevie Wonder. He would be amazing and the perfect returning headliner. But the one that would do the most for me is Mr. Bruce Springsteen, and he has to do it again before his career ends. If you younger viewers aren't aware of Mr. Stevie Wonder or Bruce Springsteen, for me, Bruce's best albums are Born to Run and Darkness on the Edge of Town, but he has a 40-year amazing career behind him. And for Stevie Wonder, one of my favourite albums of all time, Songs in the Key of Life. All three of those albums are absolutely magnificent, and if you don't know either artist, please go and check them out. But with Bruce, that would mean that he's playing two shows over Glastonbury weekend. And maybe he would want to dedicate a whole weekend to Glastonbury Festival if he plays again. Maybe it's better in 2027 with a full UK tour, a Hyde Park show, and then Glastonbury a few days after. I think that would probably work better. But I'm a huge Springsteen fan. His shows are absolutely legendary. He plays for 19 odd hours and he stacks his set full of fan favourites. So make sure you go and check out Bruce Springsteen and Stevie Wonder. But we're going to get a lot more modern now with our next headliner. But his next prediction has made no secrets about how influenced he is by Bruce Springsteen. He's even supported him a number of times, and that is Mr. Geordie Springsteen himself, Sam Fender. So Sam Fender for me is definitely playing Glastonbury 2025. In my opinion, he is an absolute lock, and I think he's probably going to headline. He's literally just announced his new album, People Watching. He's played the festival before, he's even co-headlined before, and he's absolutely massive in the Gen Z crowd. And I think Sam would absolutely smash it, to be honest. Admittedly, the purist, or old man in me, says that Sam Fender isn't quite there yet, and I really like our Glastonbury headliners to be worldwide established, and Sam will be that eventually, but is he worldwide famous yet? I don't know. But if his third album is absolutely massive and he's already booked to headline Glastonbury 2025, this could be the definition of genius from Glastonbury Festival. They've taken the risk. Book him to headline before album number 3 is out, and if the album does worldwide astronomical numbers and it conquers America, it could literally be the festival booking of the year. But that's hypothetical. We haven't heard anything from album number 3 yet, so I'm just going to judge him on the first 2 albums. And if I'm judging him on his first 2 brilliant albums, right now he's currently a Reading Festival headliner for me, and still a co-headliner at Glastonbury. If Glastonbury wants to make my dreams come true, and guys, this is not going to happen, but let's have Springsteen headline with Sam Fender directly before him. Sam has called Bruce a hero of his, and this would be an absolutely amazing Saturday night. Sam's supported Springsteen before, and I think that would bring a lot of attention to Sam's name from the States and all over the world. But for me, I think Sam is probably headlining outright this year. I do hope he's co-headlining, but that's just not going to happen. So consider this one an absolute lock. The Gig Nerd predicts that Sam Fender for me is an absolute for sure Glastonbury 2025 headliner. So next up, we have Robbie Williams. His movie Better Man comes out later this year, and he has made absolutely no secrets about how much he really wants to headline. And regardless of what you think of Robbie Williams personally, he's a showman, and he would absolutely smash it. Now, I do have to say that maybe I'm slightly biased on this one because my mum dragged me to see Take That as a kid, and I wasn't expecting much, but to this day, it is one of the greatest gigs I have ever seen. Robbie played all of his solo stuff, and Take That played all of their classics, and I think it would be absolutely awesome to do that again. Let's get Robbie to headline and have Take That come out as special guests. And I know a ton of you are groaning right now, but I think Robbie really has to do it. There is no doubt in my mind that it could actually end up being the set of the weekend. There's an argument to be made that maybe Robbie should be a possible legend instead on the Sunday, but I think he's far too young and far too big to have that spot at the moment. And I also think there's going to be a massive Robbie Williams nostalgia wave coming with the release of his movie later this year. So get ready for that if you hate Robbie. So I'm not mega convinced that Robbie's going to be playing this year, but I do think it would be a smart and amazing booking with the movie coming out. But I'm very quickly going to move on to a more hipster band, so please don't judge my Robbie Williams love too much. Let's talk about the GOATs. Let's talk about The Cure. I am cool. So guys, for my final prediction, I actually don't think this one's going to happen in 2025, but I have to say it because in my opinion, they're the absolute ideal perfect headliners, and that's The Cure. If you haven't seen it, go check out my video on them from a couple of weeks ago. It's all about their fantastic new album, Songs of a Lost World, and The Cure have headlined before, so you just know you're going to get an amazing, perfect, hits-filled goth set which goes on for hours. I personally think 2025 is just about the perfect time to get The Cure back in there. Since we spoke about it, the new album has gone to #1 all across the world, and it's the highest reviewed album of the year, regardless of genre. The Cure seem to have yet again reintroduced themselves to a younger crowd, and their reinventions are outstanding and absolutely iconic. I really, really, really hope that they are closing us out in 2025. I'm not going to go too much into The Cure. Returning viewers and everyone who's seen the video know how much I absolutely love them, but please go watch it if you haven't. It goes into everything The Cure related a lot more in depth. But please, Emily Evis, I am begging you, Emily, please give me Boys Don't Cry on the Pyramid so I can actually cry during that song. I would love it. The Cure are massive at the moment. Let's get them headlining. So guys, should we make some proper predictions, shall we? In closing, I think Sam Fender is for sure going to be one of our Glastonbury headliners this year. Then there has to be a female headliner, and rightly so, and I personally think that the amazing Olivia Rodrigo is going to be the one to take that spot. Then the third headliner, that's quite difficult, and it's up in the air, but for me, it has to be an older legendary act. It doesn't necessarily have to be a rock band. Sam Fender can take that rock band spot, and you can just stack the other stage with heavier choices, but I do feel that the third headliner should be a nostalgia act. My absolute dream personally is that it's The Cure, but I'm really not so sure on that third one, guys. But please, come to this video in a few months. I'm really hoping that across the 10 predictions, I have got all 3 headliners right. But if not, I'm going to look like an idiot. It doesn't matter too much though, does it? Anyway, guys, I hope you're having a great week. I hope you enjoy the videos. As always, thank you so much to everyone who's watched and subscribed. If you've got to this point, please hit that subscribe. I hope that you guys get tickets for Glastonbury 2025. More importantly, I hope that I get tickets for Glastonbury 2025. And let's hope that we see each other there next year. Have a good one, guys. We love Glasgow.